Growing up in Britain, a sandwich was never just a sandwich. It was chips squashed between buttered bread, crisps tucked in for the crunch, a smear of something brown and mysterious from a jar. Half of what we packed into our lunch boxes would raise eyebrows anywhere else in the world. But to us, it was simply tea time. So butter a couple of slices, pop the kettle on, and let me take you through 20 sandwiches I grew up eating that are perfectly normal here in Britain and utterly baffling everywhere else. Number 1, the chip butty. Let's start with the king of them all. Take 2 thick slices of soft white bread. Butter them properly, right to the edges, and pile in a good handful of hot chips straight from the chippy. Squash it down and there's your chip butty. Carbohydrate on carbohydrate, and not a vegetable in sight beyond the potato itself. Tell that to a Frenchman or an American and they'll look at you as though you've taken leave of your senses. But there's a comfort in it that nothing else quite matches. We'd have it of a Friday night, walking home from the fish shop with the vinegar soaking warm through the paper. A proper chip butty wants the fat, fluffy, chippy sort. A squeeze of red sauce or brown, and bread that gives way soft against the crunch. It's not clever and it certainly isn't good for you. But ask anyone who grew up here and they'll tell you it's one of life's small, cheap joys. Number 2, the crisp sandwich. Now here's one that genuinely stops foreigners in their tracks. You butter your bread, tip in a packet of crisps, press the whole lot down until they crackle and eat it. That's it. That's the sandwich. A packet of ready salted or cheese and onion flattened between 2 slices of white, and you'd think we'd invented gold. The magic is in that crunch, you see, and in the way the crisps go a little soft in the middle where they meet the butter while the edges stay sharp. We'd make them after school or sneak them into a proper sandwich to give a bit of texture. Some swear by salt and vinegar, some by prawn cocktail, and there's no talking a person out of their favourite. It costs pennies, it takes 10 seconds, and it makes no sense at all to anyone abroad. But a crisp sandwich is a rite of passage in this country, and I'll not hear a word against it. Number 3, cheese and Branston pickle. Now we're getting to the serious business. A wedge of good, strong cheddar, a thick spread of Branston pickle, and 2 slices of bread to hold it all together. That dark, chunky, sweet and tangy pickle is a British institution, and you simply cannot find it done properly anywhere else in the world. It's the taste of 1,000 packed lunches and Sunday night suppers. The tang cuts right through the richness of the cheese, and the little bits of vegetable give you something to chew on. My mother always said a cheese sandwich without pickle was a sad, naked thing, and she wasn't wrong. Some like a bit of lettuce in there, some a slice of tomato, but the heart of it is always that cheese and that pickle. Serve it with a cup of tea, and you've a proper little meal. Try explaining Branston to someone from abroad, though, and you'll be there all afternoon. Number 4, Coronation chicken. This one has a bit of history to it, and we're rather proud of that. Coronation chicken was invented for the Queen's coronation back in 1953. Cold chicken bound in a creamy curried mayonnaise with a touch of sweetness from sultanas or apricot. It sounds peculiar, I know, curry and mayonnaise together, but it works a treat. It became the sandwich filling, turning up in shops and lunch boxes for generations after. There's something wonderfully British about taking a grand royal occasion and turning it into a sandwich you could buy at a petrol station. The curry is gentle mind, nothing to frighten anyone, just a warm golden hum with a bit of fruit to sweeten it. On soft brown bread with a leaf of lettuce, it's a lovely thing. Folk abroad have never heard of it, and when you describe it, they wrinkle their noses. But one bite tends to change their minds. Number 5, the fish finger sandwich. Now don't turn your nose up, because this is a thing of genuine beauty. Grill or fry a few fish fingers until they're golden and crisp. Lay them in buttered bread and add a good dollop of tomato ketchup, or, if you're feeling fancy, tartar sauce. The contrast is everything. The crunch of the breadcrumb, the soft flake of the fish, the squash of the bread. It started as a way of using up what was in the freezer, a quick tea for the children, but it grew into something the whole nation quietly adores. Even the smartest restaurants put a version on the menu now, though we all know it's best made at home in your dressing gown of a Saturday morning. A few folk add a slice of cheese or a handful of rocket for a bit of pepper, but at its heart, it's fish fingers in bread, and it's marvellous. Nobody outside these islands would dream of it. Number 6, the bacon butty. If ever there was a sandwich that could raise the dead, it's this one. Rashers of back bacon, fried until the fat's just crisping at the edges, folded into thick white bread that soaked up a little of the pan. Then the great debate that has divided families for generations: red sauce or brown. I'll not tell you which is right, for that's a matter of the heart. But I'll say a bacon butty without one or the other is only half a sandwich. It's the smell of a Saturday morning, the cure for a heavy head, the thing we make when someone needs a bit of looking after. The bread must be soft and plentiful, the bacon salty and hot, and you eat it standing up in the kitchen before it's even properly cool. Other countries have their bacon, of course, but they don't have the butty, and they don't have that sauce, and they don't know what they're missing. Number 7, the Marmite sandwich. You either love it or you loathe it, and they've built the whole advertising campaign on exactly that. Marmite is a dark, sticky, salty yeast extract, thick as tar and twice as strong, and we spread it on buttered bread and hand it to our children as though it were the most natural thing in the world. The trick, and this is important, is to use only the thinnest scrape, for it's mighty powerful stuff. Too much and your eyes water. Just enough over plenty of butter, and it's savoury and rich and deeply comforting. To the rest of the world, it looks like something you'd use to seal a road, and the smell alone sends visitors running. But a Marmite sandwich, or Marmite on hot toast with the butter melting through, is proper British nursery food. We were raised on it, and we've never grown out of it. Number 8, the sausage sarnie. Sunday morning, the smell of sausages under the grill and the promise of a sausage sandwich to follow. You take good fat British bangers, cook them slow so they're browned all over, then split them or lay them whole in buttered bread. Brown sauce for me, though ketchup has its followers, and if there's a bit of fried onion going spare, all the better. It's honest, filling food, the sort that sets you up for a day in the garden or a long walk in the cold. The sausage itself is the thing. Our bangers are made with more bread and herb than most, softer and more savory than the sausages you'll find abroad. Slap 2 or 3 in a barm cake, as they'd say up north, and you've a breakfast fit for a king. It's simple, it's cheap, and it's one of the great pleasures of a British weekend. Number 9. Cheese savory. Here's one that many outside the north of England have never even met, let alone anyone abroad. Cheese savory is grated cheese mixed with finely chopped onion, a little grated carrot, and enough salad cream to bind it all into a soft, tangy paste. Spread thick on bread, it's the filling that ruled the sandwich shops and lunch counters for decades. There's something about the sweetness of the carrot, the sharp little bite of the onion, and the creamy tang holding it together that makes it far more than the sum of its parts. My auntie made a great bowl of it every week, and it never lasted long. It looks unassuming, a pale orange spread, nothing to write home about. But people who grew up with it get a proper craving now and then. Ask for cheese savoury anywhere but Britain and you'll be met with a blank stare. Their loss entirely. Number 10. Prawn mayonnaise. This was the height of sophistication when I was young. The sort of thing you'd have on a special day or buy as a treat from the sandwich shop. Small cold prawns folded through mayonnaise, sometimes with a whisper of tomato and a squeeze of lemon to lift it, spread onto soft brown bread. It rose to fame alongside the prawn cocktail in its little glass, all very glamorous at the time. There's a coolness to it, a freshness that makes it a summer favourite even now. The prawns want to be little and sweet, the mayonnaise gentle, and a few leaves of crisp lettuce underneath do it no harm at all. It became a mainstay of every shop's chiller cabinet, the sensible, slightly posh choice. Elsewhere, they eat their prawns hot and spiced, and the idea of a cold prawn sandwich puzzles them. But to us, it's a little taste of the seaside. Number 11. Egg and cress. There is nothing on this earth more British than an egg and cress sandwich. Hard-boiled eggs, mashed with a bit of mayonnaise or salad cream, seasoned with salt and pepper, and topped with a little tangle of peppery mustard cress. On soft white bread, with the crusts cut off, it's the star of every christening, every funeral tea, every village fete and church hall gathering we've ever held. There's a gentleness to it, a plainness that somehow comforts. The cress gives just a hint of pepper against the soft, rich egg. Mind you, it does have a certain, shall we say, aroma, which is why it's forever the sandwich people tease each other about on a crowded train. But no buffet is complete without a plate of them, cut into neat little triangles. It's the taste of gathering together, of tea urns and best china, and you'll not find it done properly anywhere but here. Number 12. The jam butty. Now we come to the sweet sandwiches, and this is where our foreign friends really begin to worry. A jam butty is nothing more than bread, butter, and a good spread of jam, strawberry or raspberry usually, folded over and handed to a hungry child. It was the after-school standby, the quick treat, the thing that kept us going till tea was ready. There's a warm, simple happiness in it, the sweetness of the jam against the salt of the butter, all soft and comforting. We didn't think of it as odd in the slightest. Jam belonged on bread, and that was that. There's even the old skipping rhyme about the jam butty, that's how woven in it is. Some had it open, some folded, some as a proper sandwich cut in half. It cost next to nothing, and it made us feel thoroughly looked after. A jam sandwich for pudding was a small piece of heaven. Number 13, the sugar butty. And if you thought the jam butty was strange, brace yourself. The sugar butty is exactly what it sounds like. Buttered bread with sugar sprinkled straight on top, folded over and eaten. Just sugar, on bread. It was a treat born of hard times, when there wasn't jam to spare, but plenty of us grew up with it regardless and remember it fondly. The butter holds the sugar in place, and you get that lovely crunch of the grains against the soft bread. Some used white sugar, some brown for a bit of a toffee note. Now, I'll be honest with you, no dentist would thank you for it, and it's about as far from health food as you can travel. But there's a nostalgia to it that runs deep. Mention the sugar butty to anyone of a certain age here and watch their face light up. Mention it abroad and they think you're pulling their leg. Number 14, the banana sandwich. This one, at least, has a bit of fruit in it, so we can hold our heads up. Sliced or mashed banana on buttered bread, sometimes with a sprinkle of sugar for good measure, pressed down into a soft, sweet, squashy sandwich. It's proper picnic food, the sort of thing wrapped in foil and packed for a day at the seaside or a long car journey. The banana goes lovely and soft against the bread, and there's a homely sweetness to it that children adore. My own were mad for them. A few daring souls add a scrape of jam, or even a little peanut butter, though that last one we picked up from across the Atlantic. But the plain banana sandwich is ours through and through. It's cheap, it's filling, it travels well, and it's just a little bit odd to everyone who didn't grow up eating it, which is precisely why we love it. Number 15, the condensed milk sandwich. Here's a real relic of the ration years, and one that clung on long after. You take a tin of sweetened condensed milk, that thick, sticky, toothacheingly sweet stuff, and you spread it straight onto buttered bread. That's your sandwich. It was a treat when sweets were scarce and money tighter still. A little bit of luxury from a tin that could stretch a long way. The condensed milk oozes and sets slightly against the bread, sweet as toffee, and children would beg for it. I'll not pretend it's anything but pure indulgence. It's sugar and more sugar. But my goodness, it was popular. And there are grandparents up and down the land who still get a faraway look remembering it. It's the kind of thing that speaks of make-do and mending, of finding joy in small, sweet things. Try to explain it to anyone abroad, and they simply cannot fathom why we did it. We did it because it was lovely, that's why. Number 16, bread and dripping. Before we throw everything away as we do now, nothing good went to waste, and that included the fat and the meaty juices left in the pan after a roast. We'd let it set into dripping, then spread it thick on bread, sprinkle it with a little salt, and eat it with great satisfaction. If you got right to the bottom of the pot, where the dark, jellied, meaty juices had settled, well, that was the prize. It's rich, it's savory, it's deeply old-fashioned, and it fed working families for generations who couldn't afford to waste a scrap. A dripping sandwich after a Sunday roast was a Monday treat, the roast giving twice over. The very idea horrifies people now, spreading beef fat on bread, but it was practical and it was delicious. It's the taste of thrift and of respect for good food. You'll go a long way outside Britain before you find another soul who'd tuck into one. Number 17, corned beef and beetroot. Corned beef came out of a tin, that distinctive little tin with the funny key, and it filled a great many sandwiches over the years. Sliced or mashed with a fork, laid on buttered bread with a few slices of pickled beetroot, it was a staple of the packed lunch and the tea time table. The beetroot stains everything a glorious pink, and the sharp vinegary tang cuts right through the salty, fatty richness of the beef. It was cheap, it kept in the cupboard for an age, and it made a filling, satisfying sandwich when money was short. Some added a little brown sauce, some a slice of raw onion for a bit of fire. It's humble food, no doubt about it, but there's a real fondness for it in this country that lingers to this day. The combination of corned beef and beetroot, though, seems to belong to us alone. Elsewhere, they've simply never thought to put the two together. Number 18. The Boxing Day Sandwich. This one's a Christmas tradition as much as a sandwich, and it might just be the finest of the lot. The day after the big roast, you take cold turkey, a spoonful of leftover stuffing, a smear of cranberry sauce, perhaps a bit of cold pig in blanket if any survived the night, and you build the whole glorious lot into a doorstep sandwich. It's the whole of Christmas dinner, cold, in your hand, and it is somehow even better than the meal itself. There's the savoury turkey, the herby stuffing, the sweet sharp cranberry, all mingling together between two slices of bread. We look forward to it almost as much as the dinner. It's the reward for all that cooking, the peaceful, put-your-feet-up meal of Boxing Day. Other countries have their festive feasts, but I've yet to meet anyone abroad who understands the sacred joy of the leftover Christmas sandwich. It's one of the best things about the whole season. Number 19. The fish paste sandwich. Into the pantry now for a jar of something rather peculiar. Fish paste, or meat paste, came in little glass pots, a smooth, salty, savoury spread made from fish or meat, and we spread it thin on buttered bread without a second thought. Salmon paste, sardine and tomato, beef paste. There was a whole family of them lined up in the shops. It was cheap, it lasted, and it made a quick and easy sandwich for lunch boxes and picnics alike. The flavour is strong and a touch old-fashioned, the sort of thing that transports you straight back to your grandmother's kitchen. Cut small, with the crusts off, these paste sandwiches were another fixture of the buffet table and the afternoon tea. I'll grant you they're not to modern taste for everyone, and the idea of spreadable fish from a jar rather alarms our visitors from abroad. But a fish paste sandwich is a genuine taste of British childhood, and there's real affection for it still. Number 20. The Plowman's. We'll finish with a grand one, though it stretches the very idea of a sandwich. The Plowman's is really a plate, a hunk of crusty bread, a great wedge of cheddar, pickle, pickled onions, perhaps some ham, a bit of apple, and a handful of salad, all laid out for you to build as you please. It's the pub lunch, the thing you order with a pint on a country walk, and it feels as English as a village green. But squeeze all of it, the cheese, the ham, the pickle, into that crusty bread, and you've a ploughman's sandwich fit to feed a working man. The name itself tells you all you need to know. Hearty food for hungry folk. It celebrates all the good, simple things we do so well. Proper bread, strong cheese, sharp pickle. You'll see nothing quite like it beyond these shores. It's Britain on a plate, and a fine place to end our little tour. So there you have it, 20 sandwiches I grew up eating that are perfectly ordinary here in Britain and quite unimaginable anywhere else. Some you'll have made yourself only last week. Some you'll not have thought of in years. But every one of them says something about who we are. Thrifty, comforting, and just a little bit eccentric. So go on, butter a couple of slices, pick your favourite, and pop the kettle on. Thank you for sitting with me a while, and do let me know in the comments which one you'd reach for first.